What's up, guys? We are back with more shitty car mods. Now, um, while this while this episode is up, when this episode goes up, that's proper English. When it goes up, I will be in Folsom hunting Pokemon. I'm pre-recording a couple episodes of different things that will go up while I'm out doing my Pokemon stuff. Um, so, that being said, uh, while you're watching this, if you're watching it when it first goes up, future me is gonna be walking around like this. Like, oh, there's a fucking Charmander, gonna fucking catch that shit. And it's gonna be cool. Except, if all I find is a Charmander, I'm gonna be very disappointed, because I don't need that. At least not until Mega Evolution comes out. Assuming that they use candies to get Mega Stones. But anyway, back to the fucking shitty car mods. So here we go. Selling my Shamabaha Civic. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't really... Why? Why? Is that really being sold? Is someone actually trying to sell that? Hold on, is someone actually... I mean, someone will buy it. Um, Someone will buy it. I mean, it looks a little silly, but someone will buy that, I'm pretty sure. Especially, because, like, we actually sold a Civic recently. It wasn't quite as new as this one. It was actually an older one. I think it was like a 2004. But we actually sold a Civic, and it was like flooded. It was flooded. The transmission was completely shot, and all sorts of other problems it had. But the body was still intact. And we actually still sold it for like $900 or some shit like that. Which is still pretty damn good for a car that's that damaged. But this one, despite the tacky paint that's on it, which you could always fix by wrapping it over, I mean, body-wise, everything looks to be intact. You know? It looks a bit ridiculous, but I guarantee someone will buy that. Not me. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't have money to go buying cars, but someone will buy that. I guarantee. They're gonna buy it for one of two reasons. They're either gonna buy it because they actually like the design, which, you know, finding somebody who likes the same thing that you do on your car is kind of hard to do. But the other reason is that they're going to buy it and they're either going to paint over it or just deal with it because they need a car really badly, or they're just going to have a wrap put over it. But, you know, someone will buy that. Someone will buy that. Civics are in pretty good demand. They're pretty nice little cars, actually. We had one for several years before we had to get rid of it. But, you know what? Someone will buy that. Not me, but someone will, I guarantee. Alright, so zombie, here we go. Is this... I can't zoom in any... oh, oops. Oops, I done goofed. Hold on one sec. Let me fix this real quick. And there we go. We are back. Sorry about that. Let me just... Yep, we're back. Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a goof there. But is that what I think it is? I mean, there's no way you're driving that on the road. Like, there's no way that's road legal. So, you're either using it to promote some sort of business, or it's like a conversation piece, or it's something that you use on your farm as like a utility vehicle. Um, but there's no way you're driving that on the road. That just won't happen. Um, so that being said, I mean, I get what you were going for, and honestly, I will say this feels like it should be on awful taste but great execution, because it's awful taste, but from a mechanics standpoint, it's great execution the way they were able. If you don't see what they took like a truck bed and they threw it on some fucking tracks and they put like a giant exhaust in the back. But like realistically, like that's very well done. It's awful taste all the way to the bank, but it's you gotta admit that the craftsmanship is there. I can respect this one. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't exactly like the design, but I can respect it because it was well done, and I hope that you actually get some sort of use out of it, and it's not just like a fucking lawn ornament. But only thing shitty I see here is the paint. And then top comment, I kind of like it. Yeah, see, like it's not. It's well done. Me personally, I don't dislike the design. I can agree with the paint. The paint, you could have gone with a different color. I don't know what you're doing with all these patterns here, but at the end of the day, that's very well done, because that is not an easy thing to do. And to do it right, like I can look at this and I can tell you that is done right as far as body and structure goes. It's just nice and clean. Everything's whoever did that knew what they were doing. As opposed to most people on this subreddit, where no one knows what they're doing. This for example. Yeah, yeah, see, why? First of all, that's not legal. Like, your tail lamps, it, they're non-existent. You don't even have tail lamps. Like, the tail lamps are supposed to be here. I don't know exactly what car this is, but it's one of those, like, generic cars. It might even be a Civic, like an older Civic. It kind of looks like one. But your tail lamp would go from here and kind of be right about here. So this is all supposed to be tail lamp. But instead, you took out the tail lamps and I'm assuming you filled it in with body filler and then painted it over, or you had some sort of custom panel made. Either way, that would be very expensive. Body filler would actually be less expensive, assuming that you did it yourself, which I don't. Unless you know how to do those things, I don't think you did, because if that's body filler, which I don't think it is, but if it is, that is professionally done to fill in that can't be body filler. That has to be like an aftermarket panel or something. There's no way that they filled in the hole with body filler, and then no, I refuse to believe that. That being said, that was probably very expensive to do. And at the end of the day, not only does it make your car look stupid, but it also makes it illegal. Like, you can't drive without tail lamps. That's not legal. And then this, I haven't even talked about that yet. Who thought that was a good idea? Like, oh, everybody has their fucking license plates like this. But what if we did it like this? Like, cause we're already gonna get pulled over by the cops for having non-existent tail lamps. We might as well give them something to look at and fucking tilt the fuck. Like, how did you even do that? Like, that had to have been custom made, cause I highly doubt they just sell fucking shit for that particular car that's made. Like, that was custom done. Somebody thought that was a good idea, and they had it custom done. And it's not a good idea. I really do think this is a Civic, because the Civic that we had looked very similar to this with the stripe down the side. Um, and are you outside of? I see a Sonic reflection in the background. Is that like a Pizza Hut, or that looks like a Pizza Hut? So at least you have good taste in pizza. Um, Although I do really like Papa John's as well, but I can't stand Domino's or whatever. Or actually, no, this is a Nissan, isn't it? That looks like a Nissan capper there. Um, I actually don't know what car this is, but anyway. And also, what's the thing with the bumper? Like, I want to assume that the bumper was originally the same color as the rest of the car, and they got like in a wreck or something. Which probably would happen given that you don't have tail lamps. So you probably got in a wreck, it ripped the bumper off, and you found that one and you just slapped it on there. In which case, at least it looks like it's secured on there. But like, if you're gonna go through the trouble of having this custom done in here and all this fucking shit, just paint this to match that, or paint this to match that, or at the very least rip the front bumper off and replace it with a blue one, and then do like some blue trim down the side here. Like, if you're gonna go with the whole two-tone thing, go with the whole two-tone thing. That's something that you don't just, oh, I'm just gonna have a different color bumper and everything else. No. If you're gonna go two-tone, you go through with it and you go two-tone. Otherwise, just have everything the same color. That's just something that really annoys me. And I know in some cases it's more of just like, oh, my car was damaged and I didn't have money to repair it, so I went to the nearest scrapyard, found a replacement part, slapped it on there, and we're good to go. And I can respect that. And in those scenarios, they get a pass because I have been in that scenario many times. But this is clearly not that scenario, because if you have money to have custom shit made for this, you have money to get a bumper that matches. So this is just, on so many levels, this is just bad. Like, just on so many levels. And it's illegal on top of that. So not only is it bad, but it's also illegal. So, yeah, just whoever owns that, you're gonna be you're gonna be in trouble if you don't put some tail lamps on there. Cause that's dangerous to you. That's dangerous to anyone behind you. It's just not a good idea. There's a reason we have tail lamps. I understand maybe like wanting to tint your tail lamps a little bit darker so it matches the trim, but you have to have tail lamps. Like, you just, no. I have seen this somewhere before. Not on here, but I have seen this car somewhere before. And honestly, I just think it's cool. That's just cool. Like, assuming that everything is secured on there properly. I just think that's really cool. And of course, yeah. And I like how because they're not spinning their tires in this photo. So that's just a straight up plate over the wheels. So that's really nice. Like, I like this. Wait, what does the license plate say? It says Obi something. Obi Schwan? Obi Schwan. Obi Schwan. Obi Schwan Kenobi. Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. There you go. I've seen this on other cars, and my inner child has thought that looks awesome, but this one just doesn't work, even though the fabrication looks cool. Um, it's so weird to have my X-Wing modeled to look like a Mazda. Yeah. Personally, I like it. I think it's cool. I think this is someone who knows what they want, and they went all out, and like, if you're gonna mod your car, like, you go all out. Like, some of these, they're not very well done. This is well done. Not everyone's gonna agree with this. A lot of people are gonna think it's ridiculous, and I can completely understand, because on one side, it is ridiculous. But from the Star Wars fan side of things, it's like, this guy deserves a fucking medal. Because it's cool. It's cool. And he still has the tail lamps. Which means so long as everything is secured properly, and this R2-D2 isn't obstructing your view, which I don't think it would, then yeah, this is technically a legal car to drive. So this is so much cooler than the last one, and that's actually legal to drive. This is not. This is illegal. So it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe hold on. Car I was gonna buy for 200 has turbo not hooked up and hood held down by a ratchet strap. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. Oh. Oh, yeah. That's a good one, alright. What type of car is it? Does anybody say what type of car this is? If the turbo is functional, seems to spin okay, actually could work. Buy the car, remove the turbo, then junk the car. You'll at least come out 100 up and have a turbo. Yeah, like, there is value here. It doesn't look like it, because it looks like a piece of shit. And whoever did this obviously did not know what they were doing. But there is value here, because that kind of stuff is expensive. You could probably get, like, 80, like the guy said, 80 to 100 bucks, maybe even 120 for scrapping the car, and you get to keep the turbo, which is probably worth, I actually don't know how much they go for nowadays, but I'd imagine the turbo alone is probably worth like 180 or more. I would think. I could be wrong, but that's one way. Wait, take away 1 0, and it's a. Oh, okay. I read that wrong. Take away 1 0, and it's a solid maybe. It's got a lot of promise. Goodbye. I wonder if this guy is the guy that's trying to sell it. I wonder. I wonder. I mean, there is value here. It doesn't look like it, because it's all banged up and gross, and somebody just straight up cut a rectangular hole in the hood that no longer latches down. So it looks ridiculous, but there is value here, and I can see the value in this. Um, but it's for 200 bucks. For 200 bucks, someone can make a profit on this. Someone can make a profit on this for 200 bucks. Um, yeah. Not much of a profit, but there is room to make money on that if you invest 200 bucks. So, there's money to be had there, but it's you got to take the risks. You have to be willing to throw all your eggs in one basket. Hot pink. Okay. I don't see much of anything wrong with this one. Not so hot pink. Oh, that's a good comment. That's a good comment. Scoobergini. Is this gonna be Scooby Doo on a Lamborghini? Hold on, I want to get a closer look at this. Did they get a custom decal on the front that says pink? No, it doesn't. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with this one. I really don't. I mean, yeah, it's kind of bad taste. It kind of reminds me of the little Chiclets gum tablets. Do people still know what those are? I feel like people don't even know what those are anymore. I'm showing my age right now. Let me look up Chiclets real quick so I can show that. Because the headlamps on the hood, or the little squares on the hood, which I'm assuming those lift up and they're headlamps. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Remind me of little Chiclets. Chiclets gum. Do people still know what this is? Probably not, because I don't think they make them anymore. Or maybe they do. But these, there, Chiclets gum. They're little gum tablets, and each one has a different flavor. Like the red ones are spicy, and I think the white ones are mint. I don't remember what the other ones are, but I actually have a gumball machine in my storage building with a Chiclets logo on the front of it. And at one point in time, it was full of Chiclets gum, and I remember eating them. But it's empty now, but I still have it in the storage building somewhere. Um, but there you go. So you guys learned what Chiclets gum is, and that's totally what these remind me of. But I could see why people wouldn't like this one, but honestly, it's such a subtle change that I think I could give this one a pass. I could give this one a pass. It's not horrible. It's just a very subtle change. I feel like if you're gonna go for that, though, at least go for some pink stripes along the side or something to tie it all in. But, you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. Could be worse. These rims. Yeah. I've seen a few of these in my day. Yeah, like, why? It's bad enough people do these on, like, shitty Toyota cars and fucking, like, I'm trying to think of a good example that people do this a lot too. Like, I've seen them on Toyota Camrys before. Like, it's bad enough people do that to cars. Uh, but why on a truck? Especially a four-door. A four-door GMC. And it's actually a newer one. Like, that's actually a pretty... Like, I can't... It's kind of potato graphics here, so I can't really get a good idea. But that's probably at least like a 2013 or newer. Just my rough guess based on the appearance. Like, why on a truck? It's bad enough people do it at all. But why on a truck, man? You're not supposed to do that to your truck. You've just ruined, like, all functionality that it has. And it costs you probably like 3 grand. And on top of that, your tires are going to be going out way more often, which you're going to have to replace them way more often. And I guarantee to replace those is probably like 800 bucks or more. So why do it? I just don't understand why people do this. I don't. I honestly don't. Somebody in the comments let me know why people do this, because it's just a waste of money. It looks ridiculous. There's literally no benefits to doing this. It looks ridiculous. It wastes like a couple $1,000s, because that's not cheap to have that done. And third of all, it makes it to where your tires are going to get worn down more often. So you're going to have to replace them more often, which means more money. And it fucking ruins the functionality of the truck. That's 4 fucking bad things that you're going to have to deal with now by doing this. And there are no benefits. No benefits to doing this. Like the whole idea of, oh, I'm gonna impress ladies with this. No. No woman is gonna be impressed by that. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you no woman is gonna look at that and be like, oh, I have to be with this person. No one. You're not gonna get ladies like that. There's no benefits here. There's no. It's just a waste of money, and a waste of what could have been a good truck. So it's just a waste. And I've seen probably hundreds. Well, maybe not hundreds, but definitely in like the 60s of trucks in my local area that look like this, and I just don't get it. I just don't get why you do that. Welcome to South Carolina. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty bad. They're pretty tasteless. I've seen a couple of those in my area as well, but at least in this scenario, this wouldn't really affect the functionality of the car, or at least not as drastically as the previous one. Yeah, it looks stupid, but at least you're using fairly thick tires there. So I feel like it's not quite of a waste. I mean, it's still a waste, but not nearly as bad as the last one. And again, this is actually a pretty nice car, so yeah. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I probably never will get it. And I just... Somebody explain. Somebody please explain why people do that. Because I don't get it. Shitty Fab 1. Yeah. Yeah, this is like that other one that we saw. You guys remember that? You guys, what, do I still have the picture for that one? I probably do somewhere. You guys know which one I'm talking about. The fucking, it was like a Camaro. Like a shitty early 90s Camaro that was like chopped in half. And then they welded in like a cab of like a 1950s truck right in the middle. That's what this is, sort of. I mean, this one's a bit better done. What the fuck is this, though? Like, what is that? Is that, like, a glass dome that you stick your head in and you can, like, look around? Because that's actually kind of cool, but at the same time, it looks ridiculous. Like, the concept's cool with this, but it looks ridiculous. This, on the other hand, just looks ridiculous. The concept isn't even cool. It looks ridiculous. It's just no. No, and you know they spent a lot of money doing that. And it just also, I think those are hubcaps, and it also looks like they're about to fall off because they're sticking out quite a bit. Either that or the tires that you have on your rims are smaller than the actual rims. In which case, that is a serious problem that you need to take care of. But yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. Also, I have to assume that this is in Europe somewhere because the steering wheel is on the opposite side. So this is probably in Europe somewhere, which I would not expect that from the Europeans. But you know what? There's shitty car mods all over the globe. Yeah, but there you go. There you go. There's another one. We'll do a few more. Wait, what was that one? Hold on. Where was the one with the Scooby-Doo Lamborghini thing? Is it really Scooby-Doo? Please be Scooby-Doo. Please be. It is! It is Scooby-Doo! Oh my god, why? On a Lambo. I hope you get paid for that. Actually, I don't, because you own a Lambo, so you don't really need to make any more money, clearly. And who the fuck is that on the front? Who is that? That's not a Scooby-Doo character. You can't just have Scooby-Doo on the side with Shaggy and then just have some poorly drawn sexy lady on the front. Like, I say poorly drawn, but my assumption, it's actually not that bad. But the reason why I call it poorly drawn is I'm assuming it's drawn with the intent to look sexy, which it's not. So, in which case it is poorly drawn. But, like, why on a Lambo? Of all things, why that? Just no, this is wrong. This is wrong in so many ways. In fact, this is gonna be the thumbnail, and it's gonna say in big, bold letters, red letters, wrong in so many ways. There you go. It's just, I can't look at it anymore. Get it away. It hurts. It physically hurts to look at that. Not low enough. Here we go. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Oh my god. No. I have to save this photo. This is a photo that I need in my life. That's just... Why? You can't even... How do you even drive that? You can't drive that. I refuse to believe that this is still drivable. Oh my god. You'd have to be like 2 foot tall just to walk in the door. Oh my... This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Not only... I refuse to believe that's drivable until I see video footage of somebody driving this thing. I refuse to believe it. Obviously it's not street legal. Like, even if it's drivable, it's not street legal. There's no way it's street legal. Because there's no way it's drivable. Nobody... Unless there was, like... The only way I could ever see this being drivable is if all your steering and all that is if you made it into a go-kart where, like, you sit up here, like, you cut a hole here, you sit in there, and then your steering wheel comes up, and then your brake pedals would be, like, down in here. Like, it would have to be a go-kart. You would have to make it into a go-kart to make this drivable, because there's no fucking way that as it sits right there, it's drivable. Unless they somehow manage to make it to where you can lay down like this. Can you even still see my face? I don't know, but you like lay down like this, and you somehow drive it like this. Like you get in there, you climb in there, and you lay down like this, and you squeeze yourself in there, then maybe, but they would have to, like, again, you would have to build it like a go-kart on the inside of there. In which case, that's the only way this is drivable, is if the operator has to lay on their back, the steering wheel's like all the way up here, and the pedals and all that are all the way in the front. In which case it would be like a fucking... They would have to lay like a fucking bobsled. Is bobsled the one where they lay like this? I think it is. But anyway, that's the only way you're driving this. That's the only way you're driving that. In which case your head would be very close to that engine, and I would be very scared to have my head that close to a running engine. Not because I'm afraid of engines, but I'm afraid of burning my fucking skull. Because that shit gets hot. But that's the only way you could drive that. That's the only way I could ever see in the current state that it's in, based on this photo. That's the only way you could drive that. Otherwise, there's no way anyone is driving that in its current state. But I think that's going to wrap up this episode. So, yeah, thank all you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to become one of the ground babies. And I'll see all you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.